Hello everyone, it's me Uncle John. Today I am going to read at 66055 Insect Invaders, Chapter 4. Something tells me things are about to change in a big way, said Keisha. Miss Frizzle pushed the button and the magic beetle bus turned back into the magic school bus. The bus isn't the only thing that's changing, said Arnold. We are too, he was right. We were changing, and how? We sprouted antennae to pairs of long, shimmering blue-green wings, 6 legs, 3 main body parts, and large, the bulging eyes. We are dragonflies, I said. Now that's metamorphosis, said Carlos. Using her forewings, Miss Frizzle flew out the magic school bus door. Dragonflies have some of the best eye power in the insect world. She said when it comes to spotting other insects, they can be bit. So let's go. Seeing is believing. We left Liz at the wheel of the magic school bus and followed Miss Frizzle. Our wings hummed as we flew through the air. I looked out through my new compound eyes. We all had on special art goggles that would help us see like dragonflies. Talk about amazing. With all these eyes on the job, said DA, we'll find Spot, Wally, and Fang in no time. She wasn't kidding either. As soon as I flew out of the trees and into the bright sunshine, I spotted my ladybugs. They are flying toward the pond, I said. Come on! We flew after them. At least Arnold, DA Carlos, Miss Frizzle, and I did. Everyone else stayed behind to look for Fang. We want to save you, I called out, but did they listen? No way. Spot and Wally flew away from us faster than ever. Before we could catch up, they disappeared into the tall grass at the edge of the pond. I'm afraid Spot and Wally see us as predators. Miss Frizzle told us that's why they've gone into hiding. After all, a predator has to find the bug before he can eat it, said Carlos. If my ladybugs were trying to protect themselves by keeping still and blending in with their surroundings, they were doing a great job. Too great. How were we ever going to find them? Why would Spot and Wally think we want to eat them? Arnold asked. Dragonflies are fantastic hunters, DA answered. And fast, just as she said that. Dragonfly, we spy us. Oh, Arnold winced as the dragonfly caught a mosquito in midair. Isn't it marvelous to see the food chain in action? Miss Frizzle said, beaming. Hunting dragonfly is truly a wonder to behold. See how it uses its front legs and powerful mandibles to hold that mosquito? I couldn't bear to watch anymore. Guys, we got to find my ladybugs before a dragonfly does. We flew toward the long grass at the edge of the pond. More dragonflies rested on the long green blades with their 4 wings spread out wide. That was not what I wanted to see. Not at all. Spot and Wally will never come out of hiding. With all these hunters around, I said. Don't forget, said Miss Frizzle. In the insect world, even the mightiest hunters can be hunted too. We were really surprised to hear that. Even a dragonfly, said Carlos. He tried some fancy moves with his dragonfly wings, zipping left and right so fast. It made me dizzy. What kind of insect could be big enough, fast enough, and have enough eye power to catch us? Arnold glanced behind us with his compound goggles. What about a fly, he said. A huge gray one with spiny legs, black markings, and the bearded face. That sounds like a kind of robber fly, said the Freeze. They do eat dragonflies. As a matter of fact, Arnold gulped. I was afraid of that. He said, don't look now, but there is one right behind us. Chapter 5. Learning about insects was turning out to be more than I bargained for. A lot more hungry ants, killer dragonflies, and now this. I couldn't resist peeking behind us at the robber fly. As soon as I did, I wished I hadn't. The fly was huge and it was headed our way. Quick, come in for the landing. Everyone, Miss Frizzle instructed, pointing toward the grassy patch at the edge of the pond. She didn't have to tell us to be quick. With that robber fly zooming up, we didn't waste a second. Flapping our dragonfly wings at top speed, we streaked toward the long blade of grass. It's lucky for us dragonflies are so fast, I said. Even though we were fast, the robber fly stayed on our trail until we landed on the grass. Phew, he's flying away, said Arnold, resting on the long grass with his forewings spread out to the side. Robber flies and dragonflies both prefer to catch their prey in midair, Miss Frizzle said. It's harder for them to see insects that aren't moving, so they lose interest in them. Carlos looked at the rest of us. That's the first time I was glad another creature thought I was boring, he said. According to my research, robber flies have a secret weapon that helps them hunt, DA said, watching the robber fly buzz through the air. See that sharp mouth part? How could we miss it? It looked like a pointy beak sticking out of the fly's hairy face. Robber flies use their beak to stab prey, Miss Frizzle explained. Ew, said Arnold. No wonder why my mom says flies are pests. Fly predators aren't all bad, Miss Frizzle pointed out. Some, like hoverflies, eat bugs that kill garden plants, like the aphids we saw drinking sap from the wild flowers. Miss Frizzle nodded. Exactly. If insect predators didn't eat aphids and other garden pests, a lot more plants would be destroyed. I never thought of flies as friends before, said Carlos. I guess even insect predators can do good deeds. Just then the robber fly zoomed after the bumblebee. Yuck, I could imagine what would happen next. Let's get out of here, I said. We flew away from the pond, searching for Spot and Wally among the grass and shrubs and trees. We didn't see them anywhere, but we did see Ralph, Keisha, Tim, and Phoebe. They were just flying in for a landing on the branches of a flowering azalea bush. Any sign of Fang? Carlos asked. Ralphie shook his head. He looked really worried. We all were. Just remember, Ralphie, said the freeze, flapping off 4 dragonfly wings. If at first you don't succeed, fly again. That sounded like good advice to me. I was ready to take off and keep searching until I heard DA shriek, that is, stay still, Keisha said. There's another insect predator. That was the last thing I wanted to hear. I looked all around, but I didn't see anything but branches, leaves, and flowers. Over there, Keisha pointed to green branch on our left. At least it looked like a branch. Then I saw a long body, 6 stick-like legs, a triangle-shaped head with 2 bulging compound eyes, an antenna. All those body parts belong to an insect, all right. When that stood so very, very still that it looked just like part of the bush. Wow, I said. A praying mantis, chapter 6. The praying mantis was just so cool looking for a minute. We all just stayed on the azalea bush and watched it. Praying mantises are amazing masters of disguise, Miss Frizzle told us. Their shape and coloring make it easy for them to blend into the background. They can stay perfectly still for a very long time. The animals don't even know they are there until it is too late, said Carlos. Arnold shivered. Please tell me that praying mantis isn't hunting us, he said. According to my research, praying mantis don't usually chase their prey like dragonflies and ants, said DA. They stay in one place and wait for passing insects, then attack them. Quite right, DA, said the freeze. But just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna call our safe side. With that said, Miss Frizzle let out a loud whistle. A moment later, the magic school bus headed our way with Liz at the wheel. Was I ever glad to get back on that bus? Not only did we turn back into kids, but we could watch the praying mantis from behind the safety of windows. I know we're in the bus, but let's keep a distance from the praying mantis, Ralphie said. He looked through the bus window at the sharp spines on the mantis' front legs. I do not want to get caught in those. It says in my book that the grabby legs are another reason mantis are such great hunters. DA told us. The mantis snatch and hold prey with their front legs. Next, they chew on the prey to make it stop moving, and then they eat it alive. Gross, said Phoebe. Insect predators may seem ruthless to us, said the freeze, but don't forget, every living creature needs food. By eating other bugs, insect predators help to keep the balance between all creatures on Earth. Praying mantises seem like the king of the insect predator world, but they still have to protect themselves against other hunters, right? Said Carlos. Like birds, said Keisha, watching a cardinal fly overhead. Miss Frizzle nodded. And bats, but mantis have their ways of staying safe. They know how to keep still, and they're very good listeners. The mantid on our bush hadn't moved a mandible the whole time we watched it. But all of a sudden, I saw something else move. Two red ladybugs with black spots. Spot and Wally, I said. Ralphie scratched his head, looking around. I still haven't seen Fang anywhere, he said. I was really worried about Fang too. But was I ever glad to see my ladybugs? They buzzed through the air toward a flowering azalea bush. Uh-oh. Tim bit his lip, watching the praying mantis. We're not the only ones who see Spot and Wally. The mantis' compound eyes followed my ladybugs through the air. This was bad, really bad. But what could we do? In the next instant, the praying mantis moved with lightning speed, faster than the eye can see. Chapter 7. I can't look, said Phoebe. Believe me, I wasn't crazy about the idea of watching my ladybugs get crunched in the mantis' spiny legs either. Spot and Wally didn't deserve to turn into another insect's lunch, but you know what? We had been so busy watching the praying mantis, we didn't notice a spider web right next to it. The web was like a sticky net that filled the space between branches of the azalea bush. When I finally did look, I saw that the praying mantis was caught right smack in the middle of the web. When I looked back to where Spot and Wally had been, I saw them flying away. Great, my ladybugs are safe. For now, I said. The praying mantis sure isn't. Tim pointed out. Look at that spider. A brown spider crawled out from the edge of the web. It rushed across the lines of the web toward the praying mantis. Why don't spiders get stuck? Spiders know their own webs. They know to keep away from the sticky threads of silk and walk only on the dry ones. Spiders often coat the legs the kind of oil from their mouths too. They all help to keep their feet from getting caught in case they do happen to step on a sticky thread. Right on schedule, said the freeze. When the praying mantis hit the web, it made the web vibrate. That sent a signal to the orb spider. So that's how it knows its next meal is ready, said Keisha. I couldn't believe how fast the orb spider moved across the dry strands of silk. The mantid struggled, but he couldn't get free of the sticky web. When the spider reached it, it bit right into the mantid's neck with its fangs. Yikes, said Carlo. The mighty mantid is going to end up being a snack instead of having one. Spider used its fangs to inject venom into the mantid. Miss Frizzle explained. You mean like that rubber fly we saw? I asked. The freeze nodded. Sometimes a spider's venom is strong enough to kill its prey immediately. Other times, the venom just paralyzes the prey. Sure enough, the praying mantis stopped moving. The old spider went right to work. It wrapped the mantid in sticky silk until it looked like an insect mummy. Spiders don't eat their prey alive, like dragonflies and mantids, said Miss Frizzle. That's right, Ralph said spiders are more like rubber flies. Once a spider injects its prey with poison, all it has to do is suck up the liquid, and lunch is served. Ralphie finished. That's how Fang eats, anyway. You, said Anno. He looked as if he might get sick. I knew how he felt. We all relieved when the old spider left the mantid alone, went back to the edge of its web. I think we have learned enough. Can we get out of here now? Arnold wanted to know. Miss Frizzle got behind the wheel of the magic school bus. I noticed that Ralphie was pretty quiet. He bit his lip, staring out the windows of the bus with worried eyes. Miss Frizzle, we haven't seen a single sign of Fang. Isn't there something else we can do to find him? There certainly is, Wanda, said the Freeze. We have already gotten an insect view of the park. Now it's time to see what an arachnid can see. She pressed a button on the dashboard, and the bus grew 8 long legs. 8 dark eyes sprouted above the front windshield. Dark brown strips ran down the center of the bus's 2 main body parts. I guess it takes a spider to find a spider. My thoughts exactly. As she steered the magic spider bus down the bush toward the ground, Keisha gazed curiously at the orb spider's web. How come Fang's tank didn't have any spider webs in it? Ralphie, she asked. Ralph shrugged. Not all spiders make web. The Fang catches prey by hunting for it, not by trapping it in a web. Miss Frizzle grinned from ear to ear. Right you are, Ralphie, she told him. Hunting spiders are fast runners. They go out and search for prey. When they find food, they chase it down with a burst of spider speed. Arnold looked around nervously. Do all spiders have fangs that inject venom? Yes, but don't worry, most spiders can hurt humans, Miss Frizzle assured him. The ones that can, like tarantulas and black widows, only bite when they feel threatened or in danger. Even then, their body is usually no worse than a bee sting. Spiders aren't all bad. They do a lot of good in the world, Ralphie said. Freeze nodded. You said it, Ralphie. Spiders eat tons of insect pests. Spiders really can do good work, especially with 8 hands on the job. And a sticky web. I looked out the window. High above us, the praying mantis was still all wrapped up in spider silk in the orb spider's web. Thanks to that orb spider and its web, we can keep looking for our pets. Absolutely, Miss Frizzle steered the magic spider bus off the azalea bush and onto the ground. We're back on the insect trail. The end.